back. I'm Kelsey Fabian. It's Fitness Friday here on WBKB Early Morning, and Trina Gray from the Bay Athletic Club joins us. Good morning, Trina.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
So now, I know that it can be hard to keep up with a routine or an exercise routine or healthy eating. So how can people keep it going during the summer?
That's a great question. I know last week you talked with Kelly about nutritional tips and healthy eating. So today I'm just going to really focus on 5 simple tips that I have seen work in my 8 years of owning the health club. What has worked for people to stay on a fitness program. And these might seem really simple, but these are the most simple, effective ways to actually commit to fitness and get results from them.
All right, let's hear your tips.
Okay, well the first one is to just simply make a plan, which sounds so easy, but when you think about it, your car doesn't fill itself up with gas, your grocery cart doesn't fill itself up, your house doesn't clean itself. Those are things that you have to schedule in your day or schedule in your week. Fitness needs to be the same thing. In order for it to happen, you need to schedule it. You need to schedule in 20 minutes to take a walk or an hour to do strength training or to go to a class or to go on a hike. And you have to block it in your calendar and protect it and tell other people that that's what that time is intended for. Otherwise, you will be fighting off obligations from all ways if you don't make it a plan and tell other people about your plan.
Would you say it's best to be in a routine, or just it doesn't matter as long as you're just getting that time in at some point during the day?
You know, realistically, every day looks different in the life of many families in Alpena, depending on what activities they have for their kids or if they're caregiving for an adult. That it's really finding a time that you can stick with that day. And if it works out that you can exercise at 6 a.m. 4 days a week, great. But if you miss that, make sure you schedule it in somewhere else in your day.
All right, tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is, this makes people laugh sometimes, but find activities that you enjoy. And that you might never love fitness like some people do, but there's something out there that you're meant to do. And sometimes we refer to that as your soulmate workout. That if you've never tried running, you might not know that it's something that you really enjoy. If you've never tried a yoga class or a kickboxing class, if you've never lifted up weights before, you have no idea how empowering and amazing it can feel unless you try it. So get on a journey to find things that you enjoy, and the only way to find things you enjoy is to step out of your comfort zone and try new things.
All right, so if you haven't found what you like to do to work out yet, go outside the box and try something, maybe like find your niche.
Absolutely. In fact, last night I was teaching a boot camp class over at the island, Duck Island, across from the hospital. And one of the women in the group started jogging, and she looked at me and said, "This is the first time I have ever run, and I didn't even know I could do it."
Yeah, that's awesome.
So next tip, let's see, work out with a buddy. This is a simple, quick one. Work out with a buddy means that you are 3 times more likely to be successful in sticking with your fitness program if you join or start with someone. It's so much easier to let yourself down. It's so much harder to let somebody else down. So starting with a workout buddy, your neighbor, a friend, a family member, starting with somebody else immediately increases your likelihood of success.
Well, I've said this before, but Valina and I try to go to the gym together. And when she's like, "Do you want to go to the gym today?" Even if I'm like, "No," I'm like, "Oh, it'll be fun because Valina's there." So I'll say yes.
Absolutely. And again, in the camp I was teaching last night, I could look around and see pockets of people who had signed up or joined together. And I don't believe they would have been there without each other. That they joined as a team, and they don't want to let their buddy down.
And sometimes trying something new is easier with someone else.
Absolutely. It takes away some of the fear, for sure. Tip number 4 is to set reasonable goals. And I really can't state this one loudly enough, that if you tell yourself you've never worked out and all of a sudden you're going to work out every day for a month, it's not realistic and you're going to let yourself down. So instead of saying I'm going to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds, focus on your behaviors and say, I'm going to start exercising 3 days a week for an entire month. And just meet that behavioral goal. Set a goal for how long you're going to exercise, how many times a week you're going to exercise, make that your goal, and the weight loss and the health improvements will follow.
All right, now the last tip.
Last tip is, this is a fun one, you want to reward your successes. Now sometimes when I say that, people say, do you mean like eat cake after a workout? I certainly don't mean that.
I wish you did.
I wish I did. What I mean by that is, let's say you met that goal we just spoke about, that you worked out 3 days a week for an entire month. At the end of the month, do something nice for yourself. Maybe invest in a massage, or go out to lunch with a friend, or do a special family dinner. Do something to reward yourself for the good work that you've stuck to, and that'll encourage you to do it again the next month.
All right, well, thank you so much, Trina. Those were great tips.